All right, Dylan McGrath here on the mic with Kelsey Carter for Toro Cup 32. And we have a Toro Cup debut, one of our lone debut here today, Gabriel Soto.
A lot of regulars on the card today.
Yeah, the Bagels likes to dip into the same pool, and a lot of times, as soon as these competitors finish one match, they apply for the next event.
That just goes to show you what kind of a show that this is. People want to compete for it.
Oh yeah, especially now. Elevated the venue, elevated the stakes a little bit with the bonuses.
And the venue's amazing. There's not a bad seat in the house.
That's what I love about this. To say that this venue is historic for the fight scene here is an understatement. I think almost every major MMA card in the past 10 years has also taken place here. Bagels made his MMA debut here long ago.
A venue full of history.
Absolutely. With many of the coaches here involved today and some of the production staff too, so definitely tied to a lot of people here. We see Gabriel Soto and Kevin Cestero tying up. Not really either men able to impose their will quite yet. A lot of feeling out in this wrestling process.
And we are beyond that 60-second sub bonus. Going for a guard pull.
Drops for that low guard pull. Looks like he's switching to the shoulder crunch.
Ooh.
Nice shoulder crunch sweep there from Cestero.
Looking to really isolate that left arm here.
Yeah, he's got it nice and jacked up already. He just wants to keep that rolling. He doesn't want to let any progress back in the way of Soto's direction, and he also don't want Soto to get that arm inside the hip line, start framing and pushing him down. He's climbing higher and higher.
Gabriel able to recapture a little bit of a guard here. If he lets that foot go, he does need to be aware of a triangle attempt. We were close.
He switched right to the stack. Now he's looking at this top side kind of leg weave, kind of pushing the leg in the opposite direction, just giving some pressure. That fight for the bottom arm in this position, very important, whether it's your arm or his arm. If you're the bottom guy, the top guy, you want to control that arm that's touching the mat.
Well, and that's that pivotal passing position there.
Right,
like
absolutely.
You have to get that upper body control with that far outside arm.
Some kind of arm drag look for Cestero right into a butterfly
Beautiful.
sweep. Very nice.
You can tell he likes to play butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely. He trusts those butterfly hooks. When you teach people butterfly guards, sometimes they just think about it in terms of a technique of, oh, I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I put my leg here. But it's such a concept. Anytime your shins are in contact with the lower part of their body, it's something you should be considering. Outside lockdown looks like. Yep, he's lacing that up.
Little roll reversal here.
Yeah, Cestero was showing a more like knee shield defense earlier. Now it looks like he's switching, trying to invert on one of those butterfly hooks again.
I like the inversion that he's using.
He's got a saddle entry here, it looks like.
And a great figure four. He's able to protect his own feet back here.
No elevation. No elevation from Soto. He looks like he's going to try to ride this out on the ground. This could get gnarly.
He could push the heel up for a knee bar attempt.
That knee's right on the line. It was almost out. I felt like it was very close there to being out. Resets these two gentlemen, does our referee, Sean Zorio.
And we're about a minute here from points being live.
And that's crucial when you're playing in this open guard position right here. It's basically the same as starting in a whole new match.
Well, and you have to wonder how it changes your game. Like, should I just hang out on top here for a minute, get to the points process, and then start to work my pass?
I think as a jiu-jitsu player in a rule set like this where you also have the bonuses in play, you have to be pretty confident in your wrestling to go out there and really tie up and wrestle. You end up burning a lot of the clock that way. Mm-hmm. And wrestling's great when the person who gets the takedown gets 2 points, but if you take somebody down and then you just end up in their full guard and get triangled, it's a different story. I believe it was Kendall Rusing who said that it's more about how you finish the takedown in jiu-jitsu than it is in wrestling. Like, you need to finish in a position that will let you either pass or get to some kind of meaningful connection to a submission.
Yes, absolutely.
That shoulder crunch sweep did not work out for Cestero this time. He's back to playing that heel inside kind of knee shield.
He's hunting for this Kimura grip.
Yeah, that Kimura grip from there is so versatile. You can use it to spin around to the back. If they try to hide it in their thigh, you can hip bump them. Once you have that grip locked in, you have to give him a lot of consideration. And if you're the top guy, you certainly have to respect it. But I almost thought he was going for like a reverse Kimura right here.
Mm-hmm.
Soto keeping the weight over the knee shield, but the top part of his body. He's trying to make sure the lower part of his body doesn't get too much connection with the legs of Cestero, because that's where all the trouble has come from in this match for him.
And Kevin opting here to go to close guard, trying to set up more of his offensive positions here. I like the overhook.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of people today playing overhook from full guard, and I haven't seen a lot of people switching. Christian Massaro in his match switching to K guard a couple times before he was injured, but I haven't seen a lot. That's more like what you would expect to see from these no-gi guys most of the time, but not a lot of that so far here today.
One of the ladies, Annika, she was playing that overhook from close guard earlier, but in the gi, it is a little bit different.
That was a great match. Might have been the match of the day for me so far.
Beautiful match. Those ladies were moving.
Gabriel's trying to stack, but the thing about stacking the guy who likes to play the butterfly is if you stack him too much, he's going to just belly down onto your leg, right? Like, we've seen Cestero look for this a couple times, but it looks like Soto's got him a little bit more balled up now, a little bit more compressed.
Definitely prevents any sort of like a K-guard entry that you could have on this right side.
And that crossface, keeping that crossface in play. You really want to, if your plan is to do something like K-guard or deep half, you have to be aware of how close your arm is to them. You don't want to leave any space for a crossface or something like that. We see how official and efficient Gabriel Soto is with this shoulder on the crossface too.
That is some pressure.
As soon as that came into contact with the jaw, it was like Cestero was like, whoa, hold on now.
You have to respect it.
I got to do something else with my hands and my legs. And we see him go back to that lockdown on the outside there. And I think that was a good look for him earlier, and he's going to use it to establish his shield again. But Soto's in a much higher position on the chest now. Way easier to finalize this position and pass for him from that kind of angle.
We're going to get our little reset here in the center.
Now let's see how high level the reset is from Sean. Because this is one of those positions where, see, if I was Soto, I would be like, I was already leaning over the knee.
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't give you back your whole knee in here.
I fight for my reset position.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second. But he does have this upper body connection woven through with that right arm.
I don't know of any passes from there, though. And
I
might not be aware, but now he's looking at a threat from like almost like a Choi bar, but ends up in the full guard of Cestero. 2 minutes left in this affair at 0-0 still. Might have our first sudden death of the day. And for some reason, I'm inclined to believe that would favor Soto.
I would agree.
Not seen much in the way of the wrestling from Cestero, and that needs to be what you have in the sudden death.
I like the inversion, but I'd like to see a little bit more intentional grips with the inversion, like a purpose. Where are we headed?
Something that's really micro and may not even be affecting. I've noticed that once he connects his hand together on the leg, he's not turning the elbow under the knee. And that's usually where you get your roll. That's usually where you get your actual sweep once you're under that leg. If you're looking for that deep half kind of look or the K-guard kind of look, you're trying to off base.
When you're definitely looking to take that fulcrum, right? Like you want to control the lever by rotating your grip. And that lever at that point is the leg. So you have to find that midpoint and rotate over it. It's not enough just to hold it.
Yeah, Cestero has shown us that he understands the fulcrum. He's hit a shoulder crunch sweep. and tried to hit a couple more since then, but just haven't seen the same kind of twisting action on the
You're right.
so far.
He's definitely way more balled up for this kind of second half of the match. Almost as if Soto learned.
Yeah, Soto's going back and forth between the shoulder, and then when he comes up, he's collecting the head. He's always keeping him completely flat and pinned where we know we're very weak, or he's balling him up to where he can't really extend himself for the butterfly sweeps. Very good adaptation from
He's
Soto.
got 10 seconds here to finish this pass.
And low. Oh,
And we're going to
we
sudden
are
death.
going to sudden death.
Our first one of the night.
Our first sudden death of the evening, the first point will. So they cannot sit. They can jumping, pull into a move, but that is the extent of it, and it can very easily be turned into 2 for the other guy if you lose your connection.
This is my nightmare right
Oh,
here.
me too. Me too. I don't even like to wrestle when I'm fresh. And Soto is trying to finish with some kind of meaningful connection, but he ends up in a neutral position on the shoulder crunch. Is Cestero. That was successful for him earlier. Can he get elevation one more time?
Well, and he hit it from the other side
Correct.
earlier,
Yeah,
too.
everybody's got a good side and a bad side. That's right.
I don't do ambidextrous jiu-jitsu. Trying to find the neck.
That is one of those few situations you'll see here at this rule set where the sudden death continues onto the ground. So often it's just whoever gets that first takedown. I've seen so many people slap hands and then blast double to get the sudden death win, and just didn't happen here. We got to that neutral position, and now the match is going to grind on and on and on until someone scores a point.
And let's hope these guys brought the cardio today.
Yeah. I mean, Sean, he's like, don't look at me. I'm not going to help you pick a winner here.
It's a great position for a potential pendulum sweep as he's able to use his hips.
I haven't seen one of those all day today. I've seen a few competitors look at that look or try that look, but I think by the time you get to an event like this, most of the grapplers you're going to compete with, even at the blue belt level, are very aware of things like that. Hip bump.
Oh.
Tries to weave for the hip bump, but look how close the Kimura is now. That is in, and we see Soto's trying to hide it. Let's see how educated Cestero is with this Kimura grip, because even if he can't turn this into a straight-up finish, we all know that trap is a trap for a reason. As long as he can hold on to that, he will have something to work with, and he does, and he loses it. And if Soto can settle, this will be the pin. It looks like Sean's walking over to make sure everything's legit. And that will be the points that Soto needed to seal the deal.
Very nice.
Let's join overtime. 5 points. Gabriel Soto.